afternoon, everybody. I appreciate everyone joining our webinar for the CCCE request for qualifications for local energy storage resiliency projects. My name is Jeremy Clark. I'm the manager of energy trading here at CCCE, and I'll be assisted by the rest of my team today, Anamika Singh, Chris Matos, and Dennis Deach O'Neill. So I guess first, just a little housekeeping. This is being recorded. It will be posted to our website after this. We're going to mute everybody at the beginning, and then we'll open it up for Q&A at the end. If you have a question, feel free to post it in chat or raise your hand, and we will come to the person that was first in line as far as raising your hand. And if you have any questions that were not addressed during this call, you can submit them directly to pssolicitations@3ce.org. And as the RFQ administrator, I will respond to them in a timely manner. So I guess with that, we will get started. So, like I said, today is July 13th, 2021. CCCE is hosting this webinar from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. To kind of review our request for qualifications for local energy storage resiliency projects. So first off, I just want to go over the RFQ webinar overview. We'll go over the objectives of the RFQ, the process and schedule, the products that we're seeking, the locally cited requirement, submission process, the evaluation, scoring, and ranking process, notification of selection, and lastly, we'll open it up for Q&A. So, just one of the reasons that CCCE is really looking for locally cited storage is to help reach our 100% clean and renewable pathway by 2030. We have procured a lot of renewable resources to this point, but we are our intent is to use storage to help optimize the renewable generation and to basically use it in different times than when it's normally generated. So first off, Central Coast Community Energy, we're formerly Monterey Bay Community Power. We changed our name in September of 2020. We were formed in 2017 by our founding jurisdictions, which include Santa Cruz County, San Benito County, Monterey County, and most of the cities within. Since then, we have added 6 cities in San Luis Obispo County and the unincorporated county of Santa Barbara and many of the cities in Santa Barbara County. At the beginning of this year, we started serving the San Luis Obispo County cities and then northern Santa Barbara County. In October of 2021, we will begin implement our customers in southern Santa Barbara County that are in SCE's service territory. So the objectives of this RFQ, one, it's to increase grid reliability and local resiliency. We're looking to add up to 100 megawatts of new energy storage in our service territory. We're looking to install small scale standalone energy storage projects to be able to store and transfer renewable generation from CCCE's portfolio of renewable energy products to allow a time shift to better match our load. And lastly, we're looking to install more energy storage projects as it allows CCCE to procure even more intermittent renewable energy and more easily meet our board adopted procurement strategy of achieving 100% renewable power supply by 2030 in a cost-effective manner. So the RFQ process, as everyone that's on this call is aware of, we issued the local RFQ on June 15th, 2021. And We will take questions up until July 28th, 2021. If you'd like to submit a question to this RFQ, here is the email, but it's pssolicitations@3ce.org. The proposals are due August 2nd at 5 p.m. And include the RFQ includes the required documents and the protocol that need to be met for part of the submission packet. So phase 1 is to review, score, and rank the proposals. This will be done by CCE staff. We will score and rank all compliant proposals. Phase 2 is the selection process. CCCE is targeting September 1 to notify qualified energy storage developers to move to the next phase of this project. Phase 3 is the proposal development. So CCCE will provide pre-screened project sites for the qualified energy storage developers who will submit project proposals on pre-screened sites, and other sites may be considered as well. So basically in this process, it's a two-stage process. This RFQ is the opportunity for vendors to apply to become a potential qualified energy storage developer. And once we choose 1 to 3 developers, then we will start looking at site-specific projects. So again, the RFQ schedule is issued on June 15th. Today is July 13th. This is the bidders webinar. You can submit questions up until July 28th at 5 p.m. and we will respond as soon as we can to those questions and hope to have all of them answered by 5 p.m. on August 2nd. Or sorry, the deadline to submit proposals is August 2nd at 5 p.m. And the next probably week or two after the deadline, we will contact any of the proposers if we need clarification on your submittal package. And we hope to notify the selected qualified energy storage developers by September 1st. All dates after the submission deadline are tentative and subject to change. So future proposal requirements. This is basically after we select the vendors to move to stage 2. We're looking for eligible resources. That means it's grid charging in front of the meter energy storage project. So in front of the meter refers to a metering configuration that is on the grid side and visible to the grid manager, which is the California ISO. Conversely, behind the meter refers to metering on the energy user side and thus not visible to the ISO. We want to make sure that these projects are able to participate in the California ISO markets. Project attributes. So what type of project are we looking for? We are interested in a full toll, which means we would like the capacity, the energy, ancillary services, and RA county rights. The project location, the project must be located within CCCE's service territory. We went over the map a little earlier and it's included in the RFQ protocol as well. Site selection, CCCE is pre-screening sites now that the vendors will be able to approach if selected to help to develop these energy storage projects. With that said, we may consider other sites as well. The delivery term, COD no later than December 31, 2026, a minimum of 5 years. CCCE prefers to be the scheduling coordinator. For price and settlement, CCCE is seeking a fixed price, a capacity price, $1 per kilowatt month with no escalator. The discharge duration will be a minimum of 4 hours. And the required capacity, we are seeking storage projects that are a minimum of 1 megawatt and a maximum of 5 megawatts per project. Again, the locally sited requirement, the projects must be located within CCCE's service territory, which is highlighted here. All right, the RFQ submission requirements. The required submittal documents are Appendix A, which is the completed respondent form, and then the executive summary. You must submit the proposals to pssolicitations@3ce.org on or before, this date is wrong, it's, sorry, on or before August 2nd, 2021 at 5 p.m. Apologies for that. Proposals failing to submit these items will be deemed non-compliant. So for the RFQ evaluation, scoring, and ranking, after the removal of non-compliant proposals, the RFQ evaluation process will commence. All compliant proposals will be scored by a committee comprised of members of CCCE staff and ranked according to a qualitative assessment. The evaluation will consider completeness of response, developer experience in delivering similar projects, quality and depth of references, and any other criteria CCCE deems relevant. Notification of selection. CCCE will notify selected qualified energy storage developers and non-selected respondents by September 1, 2021. CCCE is targeting to select 1 to 3 qualified energy storage developers to implement CCCE's local energy storage resiliency project. All right, now I guess we will open it up to Q&A. If there are any questions, please feel free to raise your hand, and then we'll get to you in a timely manner. And then I also, I'll address the question on the Q&A that was posted. Mr. Muhammad asked if we could provide Appendix C reservations of rights that we could not find on the website. So let's see, Muhammad, I'll have to look into that, and I'll update the website, and I'll look for reservations of rights. It's normally embedded at the end of the protocol, but I'll have to review that. So
yeah, that's what I was going to say too, Jeremy. I think it's embedded in the protocol. It's
Being a hand raised from Derek and Muhammad. So let's go ahead and answer Muhammad's question in case if he has any clarification required, and we will take Derek after that. Muhammad, I'm allowing you to talk here if you want to. Oops, sorry, I think okay. Can you talk?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we're very excited about this, and we will be submitting an offer on this RFQ. The question was, the Appendix C, we thought it would be kind of an Excel spreadsheet, but you want us to basically copy Exhibit C, Appendix C, and just kind of put it in a Word document and just upload it that way. We just want to have a full compliant offer, and then even though we don't have a clear idea of what kind of the sites, you still want us to give you the pricing capacity at a kilowatt month, and you suggested without escalation, and with ITC and without ITC, right? Just want to confirm all this. So,
Muhammad, I think, and it's a great question. This one thing, we're not asking you to submit proposals for specific projects. This RFQ is to submit to us your qualifications for us to select you as a partner to go out and do your site assessments of our pre-selected list, and then you come back with a proposal per the appendix. I believe that's Appendix
B.
Yeah. B. Right, so that Appendix B is there only for illustration of what a selected qualified energy storage developer would be expected to do after this part of the protocol. So all you need to submit to be considered for selection as a vendor is the appendix, the respondent form, which is Appendix A, I believe, and an executive summary.
Yes, correct.
So those are all that's required on August 2nd. All the other appendix is there just for illustration as to what would be expected once you're going out and visiting these sites and assessing them.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your question, Mohammed. I will be muting you again, but please feel free to raise your hand if you have any more questions. I'll be now taking Derek's question. So Derek, you are now allowed to speak. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi guys, thank you very much. Quick question for you. One was that I'm imagining at some point your pre-screened sites will be, you know, if development partners are selected, they have the opportunity to go through these sites and develop actual proposals. I'm curious, how interested are you at some point in either somewhere between now and then, or maybe in phase 2 is more appropriate, being presented by the developers with a list of cohorted sites that are viable and pre-screened from the developer? Is that something you're actively looking for? You know, the question being just how much effort are we going to continue into finding these sites, pre-screened sites for you?
I mean, I guess clarifying question to you is, are you asking if we're open to you, if you're selected, you providing proposals on sites not on our list, or are you asking more?
Well, yeah, I think I'm asking how much was that part of your intention? You know, how is it likely that is it 100% site dependent, or is it something that's just really not what you're after?
I guess I'm still confused, but I will say that the list that we provide won't be the, you know, we are going to be open to considering other sites. I mean, as we indicated in the deck, you know, the pre-screening sites that we're going to provide to the selected vendors is really meant to kind of help with finding site owners who are receptive to accepting a battery on their site, and they also will be, you know, kind of in line. I don't know how familiar you are with PG&E's Community Microgrid Enablement Program. That is something that we are looking to exploit as well, because it would allow the opportunity for these sites to also serve as backup for the site hosts. And we don't know with certainty what that looks like yet, because it's a new program issued by PG&E, but we are looking to partner with them. And that's really what the pre-screening we're doing is around those aspects. But we aren't precluding the selected energy storage developers from proposing other sites.
Great, that makes sense. I guess like the question that I then have, last question, sorry, is would it then still be on the list of sites that you're providing to the energy storage developers? Would it be still up to those developers to be negotiating the land, you know, securing the land in that, or is that going to be kind of a established conversation?
I see. So it's more about establishing that site control. I would say that is something that would be on you, but like I said, the part of the pre-screening is to really make that effort a lot less.
Right, got it. There was an expressed intent or something from the land already.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent, thank you.
All right, thank you, Derek. I don't see any more hands raised right now, but I guess Robert. Yeah.
Questions in the question and answers window.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
Yeah, Namika, I'm going to address the questions in the Q&A real quick. So Robert and John, if you can hang on for a couple minutes, we'll get right back to you. So the first one, will proposals of battery energy storage greater than 5 megawatts be considered non-compliant? You know, our target is 1 to 5 megawatt projects, but I guess at this point we're not asking anyone to actually propose any projects. We're just asking to submit the respondent form and an executive summary. If once we select the vendors, then our intention is still to max out at 5 megawatts, but it could be considered later, maybe that it's 6 or 7, but I wouldn't think they would be much larger than 5.
Let me add a little color on that too as well, Jeremy. I mean, I mean, really, our expectation is the sizing, because when you go to these site hosts, it's more about pairing it with them with the potential for backup power. So we would expect the majority of the batteries to be in the 1 to 2 megawatt range, because if it's going to be there to be front of the meter and grid connected, but also have the potential for the site host to get backup power, that's the sizing we would see as the most prevalent. But we aren't ruling anything out. We want them, we expect them to be in the 1 to 5, but yeah, we don't have any hard cutoff sizes.
All right, next question. Yes, we are recording this webinar and we'll post it to our website. Next question, for the size of the project, will you pre-decide the size of battery? I think that's to be determined. I don't see us really pre-deciding the size of the battery. I think it's a conversation that we're going to have with the selected vendors once that we start looking at some of these sites.
Yeah, I think it would be, you know, where we're looking for partners here, right? And so we would want to, you know, talk with you and defer to you on your expertise in terms of sizing. So definitely there's no preset, or yeah.
All right, next question. Will dispatches happen every day or non-holiday weekends? You know, I guess that's going to come down to the project specifics. Most of our battery fleet right now, they are dispatchable every day, and we will probably have a similar use case. It really depends, I guess, on the end project. So,
I think that the thing to note there, right, is that, you know, we're paying a fixed price for the ability to charge and discharge those batteries with certain constraints, right? And so we would, you know, we would, as part of as we go through and were to build these projects, we would articulate what the restrictions might be, but we don't have any preset. I think the question is getting at, you know, when you design the batteries, you're trying to figure that out, right? Because I think that's a factor, and that would be part of the discussion with our selected vendors to come up with what makes the most sense.
all right, what is the maximum delivery term? Yeah, that's not stated in the protocol. I assume it'll be a maximum of 20. That's 20 years. That's what we've kind of negotiated in the past. It's something that we'll discuss with the selected vendors.
But there again, to add the color is that, right? I think we said minimum of 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think 20 years, in my opinion, is good. Is for a battery is pretty long, right? I think 5, 10, maybe 15 is what we'd be looking at. Yeah.
All right. Will you be utilizing the companies who are successfully shortlisted after initial RFQ phase to pre-screen potential project sites, or will pre-screening be performed exclusively by 3CE? I think just to add a little bit more color to this, I mean, we are pre-screening sites now, and they will be shared with the selected vendors. We are open to other sites, so that's definitely a conversation that will come in the next phase of this process. All right. What are the typical examples of critical loads where you intend to set a battery, say wastewater treatment plant, hospital, etc.? Yeah, I think we're still trying to define what sites are actually critical load. But yeah, I think that we're looking at like evacuation centers, hospitals, police, firefighters, but that don't have backup generation already. So we're still working on that definition, really.
Yeah, but I do think a definition that could be instructive is the definition being used in the Community Microgrid Enablement Program by PG&E, because they define what a critical facility is, and it covers a lot of things you're mentioning in the question, and Jeremy mentioned. You know, the other area that we're doing pre-screening on is really our member agencies fall into that category of critical facilities, and so we have natural partners already, and we're doing a lot of discussions with them as well. So, you know, our member cities and counties that are members of this joint powers agency are candidates as well.
Yep. All right. Next question. Will the pre-screen developers need to competitively bid on the specific sites through a follow-up RFP? So, you know, the way we envision kind of phase 2 working is we'll select 1 to 3 vendors, and then we'll share this this site list with them, and they will be competing against one another as far as developing the project and bidding in. It won't basically the RFP will only be open to those selected vendors. So. All right, I answered the first question. So the last question, for those hosting sites, you recommend it in the future, you will pre-check grid injection capacity at intended point of interconnections before you release them to selected vendors. Let me reread that.
Well, what's the question?
Yeah.
Oh, will you pre-check? So this is getting into like sort of the interconnection process, right? And ability to have the capacity there. I guess the question is, actually, that's a question we don't have an answer to yet, but I think that I do think we were going to try to do some due diligence around that, but we know that the people on this call are more knowledgeable than we are in terms of doing full on-site assessment. So we'll do some pre-screening, but it may not be to the level that the vendors would need.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is a question we'll try to follow up with too on our website. So real quick before I get to the hands raised, just a quick last question. Will there be a single respondent selecting during phase 3? So, you know, phase 1 is the RFQ. Phase 2 is basically issuing the selected sites and having the 1 to 3 vendors submit projects on them. So phase 3 is what I consider awarding the proposal, and that would be one vendor would be selected for that final proposal for each site. So we're looking to install up to 100 megawatts. So there could be multiple sites selected, and there could be different vendors selected for each site. So, all right, I guess Namika, you want to go back over to the hands?
Oh yeah, sure. I am seeing a hand from John Gagliotti. I will allow you to talk, John, so please go ahead and shoot your question here.
Thank you. And Jeremy, thank you for the opportunity to participate in this. I do have kind of a question on the process and in setting up the competition. Of course, I understand, you know, that by selecting or pre-selecting the 3 vendors and then having them compete for development, you know, leaves the impression that that 3CE will get the best price. But if 3 vendors are going to be talking to the same suite of pre-selected sites, then every single one of those sites is going to get 3 people, and they're going to be asking for the highest price. So it won't necessarily mean that then the contract price that any one of the winning vendors is going to be looking for is necessarily going to be the lowest price. So there may be kind of a conflict there. There is an opportunity to maybe, once the 3 vendors have selected, for the 3 of us to basically kind of sit down and then slice and dice kind of where those which sites would be pursued.
I mean, I think that could be a possibility. I guess first we're curious of how many people will be able to respond and be qualified to do this, and will we select 1, 2, or 3? And then, like Dennis mentioned earlier, we're really trying to build a partnership with the selected vendors, and you know, so it's a win-win for us, for the developer, and for the customers. But you do make a good point that there is some complexity to this, right? So.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a great comment, John, and we'll give some more thought to be able to maybe give a more thoughtful response to that question.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank you.
Jeremy, there is one more question in the question and answer window. If you want to.
All right. Do you anticipate separate RFPs being issued during the period through 2026 for specific projects in the same size range, but outside of this program? Or is this program going to cover all projects in the 1 to 5 megawatt range for this period? No, that's a very good question. You know, we've spent the last 3.5 years procuring large scale renewable energy, and now we're kind of shifting focus to local developments, and in this case specifically storage. This will not be our last storage RFQ or RFP. The size of the projects that we seek through each solicitation may change, but this will not be the last RFQ or RFP for local storage. All right, so no hands raised and no questions. I want to thank everyone for participating in this webinar, and hopefully you guys will all submit proposals. We really look forward to reviewing the proposals and working with a few of you to develop small scale storage within our service territory. I'll stay online for a few more minutes to see if anyone else has any questions, but again, I appreciate everybody participating today. And this webinar is being recorded and will be posted to the solicitation webpage. If you have any questions at a later time, you can email me directly at pssolicitations@3ce.org. So with that, I guess I'll wish everybody a good day. And again, the due date is August 2nd at 5 p.m. for the RFQ proposals to be submitted. And a compliant proposal would be the offer form A, the respondent form, as well as an executive summary. So again, thank you everybody for participating in today's webinar, and we'll talk soon.